Hello, and what is going on, everybody? It is Master of the TDS, and I am joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven,
and we're back for another episode of Psycho-Synopsis.
Indeed.
The segment where we summarize all the Psycho for you. Just a scattering of topics throughout the week, all summarized into one neat little package for you to enjoy and consume at your leisure.
You're welcome.
Now, last week we did not upload. That was because we had other commitments that prevented us from doing so. But we're back. And we got a couple topics to discuss today.
Some weird ones.
There's a lot of stuff that came out in D23 about Marvel stuff. We're not covering necessarily any of that in this video because...
No need to.
There's no need to, and there's not that much to cover yet. Once there is, we'll, cover it. But right now, not much to go on. So we're going to go with what we did find interesting, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, pretty much. So, with that being said, we will begin with our first client, Dungeons & Dragons.
If you look at this and see this, you aren't racist. If you look at this and see this, you are racist.
Made by Master.
Wizard of the Coast has apologized and subsequently issued an errata for their recent addition of a captivity angle to the Dungeons & Dragons backstory of the fictional Hadozi race after this new bit of lore was accused of being a racist caricature of black people.
Sigh.
Yeah, so this is a thing that Dungeons & Dragons, now I'll be honest, my wife and I don't really play Dungeons & Dragons. I never played it.
We have been invited to, though.
Yeah, but it's not something that we're interested in too much. But I wanted to talk about this because whenever I hear winged monkeys, I think of The Wizard of Oz.
The book, not the movie, because the movie is nowhere near as good as the book.
Exactly. Now, I am someone who's actually read all of the Oz books. Yes, there are multiple. There are quite a few. And they're very good. A little bit kiddie, I would say, maybe, but good.
Well, it was made for children, but it is still very well written.
Yeah, and so that's what I think when I think of winged monkeys. And in the book, the monkeys were actually enslaved to a special hat. And this hat had an inscription in the hat that would allow you to summon them 3 times.
Using a certain dance ritual. And once you have summoned the monkeys 3 times to do your bidding, the hat moves on to someone else.
Yes. Now, eventually, Dorothy actually gives the hat back to the monkeys, and they're able to be free. But that's whatever I think of when I think of winged enslaved monkeys. Now, for some reason, Dungeons & Dragons has gone very woke lately.
Oh, yes.
So much so that they have prom as an event that you can go to now with characters. It's weird.
It's stupid.
Yeah. But apparently, this was a big enough deal for them to make a statement about it. Again, not really sure why. Because not everything that involves slavery makes you think of black people.
But why is it always when it has to do with monkeys that people automatically think of black people?
That, or it's orcs, or it's whatever.
Sigh.
Here's the thing. If you look at these creatures and see black people, isn't that a you problem?
It definitely means there's something wrong with you.
Like, why would you look at these creatures and think black people?
Just because of the slavery aspect or the fur color aspect? I mean, really, why?
There's no reason. So you're outing yourself as a racist if that's what you see when you look at these creatures. I'm not saying there aren't parallels that you could draw. I'm saying for the most part, everybody knows, first off, that it's make-believe, and that it's not meant to depict any kind of race.
Yes, that is very true.
But apparently, Dungeons & Dragons caved to them, basically put out a statement, "Oh, we're so sorry, we failed you." You're gonna keep bending the knee, and they're gonna keep coming after you more and more and more, and eventually you'll do something that you won't want to apologize for or whatever, and they will eat you alive. That's what these people do.
Yeah, viciously. Worse than piranhas.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a good name for them. They're piranhas.
Worse.
Twitteranas.
That's not bad. Could be better.
That's what they are. They're literally ready to attack, and they will eat you if you step out of line.
Yes. Yes, they will.
Good luck, Dungeons and Dragons. You need it.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we'll be reporting on your getting eaten alive, because it's not a maybe, it's a guarantee.
Especially if you continue on this path.
Yep.
Moving on. Next up in our waiting room, we have the Rings of Power. Again.
Cast the fans into the fire for money. In their latest ploy to run defense for their widely rejected adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's seminal fantasy work, Amazon has enlisted the 4 actors who portrayed the Hobbit members of the Fellowship of the Ring in Peter Jackson's cinematic take on the classic story: Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd, to denounce as racist any of the Lord of the Rings fans who have criticized the Rings of Power's wild deviations from its source material.
How much did you guys get paid?
Now, as you can see, I had some fun with their t-shirts.
Yes, he did. Pause and read them to yourselves if you like.
People seem to make this a thing where it's like, you can't not like the show. There are plenty of reasons for people to not like the show. And are there people out there who are racist? Absolutely, I guarantee you 100%.
Unfortunately.
But they're a minority.
Yes, the narrative isn't really working this time for you guys, because apparently the Disa character, the black female dwarf, is apparently people's favorite character of this show.
Yeah, apparently she does a great job. Now, she said some crazy things coming into the show, but it didn't matter because she just got in there and gave it her all.
She really devoted herself to the character, made the character believable, and people really love the scenes that she is in, and unfortunately they didn't use her enough.
Yeah, and the Rings of Power is getting panned by audience, and it's being gatekept by Amazon, who kept the reviews closed for 72 hours, and then it ended up being even longer than that.
I think 160 hours?
Yeah, and they're, curating what reviews they allow in. And look, nobody has a problem with denouncing racism. The problem is these people give no evidence, and they make it seem like anybody who's criticizing this type of stuff is racist. No.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. Now, some people say, oh, if you're not racist, then they're not talking about you. You're right. But who are they talking about? You see, if they don't give receipts or evidence and say, here is an example of what we're talking about.
Which they don't.
How are we supposed to know who they're referring to?
We don't.
Then they decide to do that, and then if you have any criticism, especially online, you're racist, sexist, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You can't not like the show.
It's an imaginary phantom adversary.
Yes, and they literally use it as a way of hiding behind it as a shield for criticism. As I said, it doesn't mean there aren't people out there who are racist. That happens.
Yeah, but using the shield of victimization or whatever is seriously cowardly. People really need to grow back spines.
Exactly. And if you're going to call it out, give us an example so we can all denounce it. But no, you can't. And then you use it as a deflection and say toxic fans are terrible when you give no proof. All you had to do was say, here is the evidence. And guess what? Yes, there are some people who would have said, oh, that's not enough. You're right. But at least you would have had something. But this is the playbook they go to now. Show not doing well? Time to pull it out. No one is saying you can't denounce racism, but you need to give evidence. And if you don't, you need to accept the reality that people don't like your show. Now, there are people who have. I have actually interacted with certain people who have said that they actually did enjoy it. And you know what? You have every right to enjoy the show.
But but people who don't like the show also have a right to not like it.
Exactly. And their not liking it has nothing to do with racism. Yes, in the beginning, some people were already pointing it out and saying, hey, there are no people of this skin color there. Because when that is made the priority, the thing they focus on for marketing, it shows the consumer that they don't care about that detail, so they don't care about anything else. What else are they going to change?
Maybe eventually they're boogeyman?
Hopefully, I wish, because this is ridiculous. Stop it. It's old. The Rings of Power is not as good as other shows, and it is not being heralded as the smash hit Amazon wanted it to be. Amazon will spin it that way, but it's not. Accept the reality of things and stop using racism and black people as shields for your crappy narratives.
What he said.
Because that's the real racist thing. Using black people as a shield for your bad writing.
Ouch. Anyway, moving on. And next up we have She-Hulk. Again.
Hashtag swipe left on She-Hulk.
Please.
Disney Plus has released a clip from tomorrow's new episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law as Jennifer Walters decides to get back on the internet dating scene with some unwelcome help from Nikki. When did it become a thing where we need to see superheroes' dating lives?
You don't. Ever.
I don't have an interest in this. This is what fan fiction is for.
Yeah, you can literally find this stuff on Wattpad. Believe me, I use it.
But apparently they make her, like, she doesn't get any swipes right with her Gen form. So she makes an account with She-Hulk and suddenly gets a bunch of likes and a bunch of people, whatever.
Which is super unrealistic.
And then she apparently goes out with some guys or whatever, and apparently some of them are jerks to her or whatever, but this guy says, I've been on enough, first dates. I don't want to hear about me. I want to hear about you. And apparently that's enough for her. She doesn't have to hear anything else. She takes him back to her place, and obviously you can see Wong, interferes and stuff happens, whatever. Long story short is that when she wakes up in the morning, she's in Gen form, so she goes and starts making breakfast. The guy comes down the stairs and sees her and goes, "Who are you?" And she explains that, she's Jen and that's her She-Hulk form. And the guy just says, "I'm gonna go," and he leaves.
That's actually a pretty realistic scenario, but also the fact that he says, "I want to hear about you," sounds like he's actually a nice guy that just got taken advantage of.
Maybe, but then he's also reading the Good Feminist book.
Oh yeah, good point.
But regardless, Jen makes herself the victim. I should have known it would be this way. You literally catfished the guy. And here's the thing. If you had explained to him what your situation was, probably wouldn't have left.
Probably.
But you were so ready to just, he wants to hear about me. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna not tell him anything about myself. Why?
Reasons, and also crappy writing.
Yeah, and this show's just terrible. It's got a lot of single wine mom energy. And look, if you like the show, again, you are more than welcome to like the show. Nobody says you can't.
But didn't this episode also actually have a single wine mom that was Dana Schwartz's self-insert?
Yeah, but that's a whole different story.
True.
And look, I just think that it doesn't have to be this way. The story could have been so much better, and I feel like there's no story here.
There isn't.
There is no story here, and they're just making up whatever they need to make up so they can push their own narratives and make it that men are bad and women are oppressed and whatever. And they're completely hypocritical because, let's have her complain about how she has to control her anger every single day because she's catcalled. Then in the next episode, let's have her twerk. And now here, let's have her catfish a guy, but no, she's the victim.
Makes no sense. You guys, the people writing the show are beyond incompetent, and it makes me weep for writers everywhere.
Well, I know one thing, She-Hulk ain't smashing anymore.
Ouch. Anyway, let's move on. Next in our waiting room, we have Velma.
A new foe has appeared, challenger approaching. Velma's cop-calling attack in Multiverses has been changed to summoning the Mystery Machine after a smattering of discussion and jokes.
Why?
'Cause police bad.
But they're not.
Even so, hey, people on Twitter, come close. I have wisdom to share. You listening? Put your thinking caps on. It's a video game!
You said thinking caps. These people can't even think.
The caps can think for them.
Oh yeah, good point, which is unfortunate.
Well, because when you compare IQs, an inanimate object like a hat probably has more of an IQ than they do.
Ouch! I felt that one.
It's a video game. Police are not real in the video game. They're just a move. But you don't like police now because police bad because reasons. But then when you are in trouble, who's the first person you call?
Police.
Seems a bit hypocritical to me.
Indeed.
I don't know why this needed to be a thing.
It didn't.
There's not much to say here. It's just a very strange change. Why?
I don't know. It was completely unnecessary.
Now, I don't play multiverses, so I don't really know much else about the context of this, but it apparently was just some kind of move that brought the police, and the police would, like, haul off your enemy or something like that.
Like a special attack.
And now it summons the Mystery Machine, which, again, nothing's wrong with summoning the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, but that's more Fred's thing, is the Mystery Machine. He's the one who drives it.
It doesn't matter. It would be funnier if... I hope she has, like, an attack. I don't know. I haven't played it. But she has to have an attack where she drops her glasses.
Or uses them as a boomerang.
My glasses! That everybody trips over her.
Take notes, whoever makes this game.
But, like, I don't have any interest in playing this game, but, like, why are you making changes for Twitter? At this point, people need to realize that Twitter is not reality. These people on Twitter do not have lives. They are on there all the time. It is a good place to be on if you want to see stupidity and you want to have, keep up to date with the latest stupid.
Yeah, because there is a lot of stupid. Makes Master glad for the clients that he does have.
Yeah, but, stop listening to Twitter. This is a stupid change. It didn't need to happen, and you made it happen, and it didn't do anything. It wasn't like you made a big statement. You changed a move of a fictional character within a fictional game because of a real-life issue that is also somewhat fictional.
Yes. Lot of controversies there. It just makes no sense and didn't have to happen at all.
And we're not getting into the controversies there. There are obviously reasons people feel their way they do, and they're entitled to those beliefs. But in a video game, really?
There's no need for it in a video game. That's why it's called escapism.
Yeah. Good luck the next time you need someone to call.
Because it probably won't be the Ghostbusters.
Or the police.
Let's move on. Next up, quite strangely, we have the Teletubbies.
The Teletubbies are returning for Netflix's upcoming reboot of the children's series, which stars Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt's Titus Burgess?
I don't know.
I don't know what that name is. I don't care. So, everybody knows the Teletubbies.
I had a Lala costume as a toddler.
But, like, I haven't watched it in ages, because there's no reason to, and obviously it's for very young kids.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Don't know.
Why does this need to happen? Because you know what they're going to do. They're going to use this somehow. They're going to make other colors. Watch, I'm calling it now. They're going to make other colors.
And they're going to bring in the rainbow?
They're going to make it the rainbow. And they're going to make it's the many colors of pride.
Why? And I'm pretty sure Geeky Sparkles on Clownfish TV noted that they've already turned the sun Asian. Why?
Bo likes rainbow. Bo pride now.
Po.
Bo, who cares? I don't even know why they're doing this.
I don't know either, but it's so dumb.
I have nothing to say. Good luck with this. It's a Netflix product, so it's probably going to be trash. Mm-hmm. Like, what else am I supposed to say? I have nothing to say. I'll say this, okay?
Okay.
I like the vacuum cleaner from Teletubbies. I forget what its name is.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember fondly. I love about it. This will not be Teletubbies. This will be an adaptation. Mark my words.
Adaptation in quotes.
Yeah.
Wow. Just wow.
After Netflix track record, I have no hope for this. Not that it was ever something that I would have consumed. I just think it's going to be funny because I guarantee they're going to try to use it to push messages. And who's going to be watching this?
Nobody, really. I think they're just doing it because they've run out of things to reboot, though. And I'm not the only person who thinks this. Why haven't they touched Dragon Tales yet?
Don't give them ideas.
Right. Sorry. But they will eventually.
And they'll ruin that, too.
Oh, of course they will.
Can't help themselves, huh?
Nope, they must do it with everything.
All right.
Let's move on. And next up we have live-action Pinocchio.
Bippity-boppity, this adaptation is now floppity.
Accurate.
Nobody wished upon a star for this Disney Plus version.
So true!
And as you can see, Pinocchio ain't doing so well.
Nah, apparently they changed a bunch of stuff from the original story. And according to one of our friends, Pinocchio actually lies in order to get out of a situation, which is kind of the opposite of the message of the story.
And apparently it was just very creepy and very strange, and they tried to make it, like, kid-friendly. They got rid of, like, booze and cigarettes and stuff like that.
On Pleasure Island, which was all about children misbehaving.
Whatever. As you can see, it's not doing so well, but guess what? We don't hear.
What?
It's being review-bombed!
That's actually shocking. Nah, I think it's just getting really bad reviews because it's really bad.
Nope. They don't get to use it. It's being review-bombed.
It has nothing to do with their casting for the Blue Fairy, which I don't really understand.
It's being review-bombed by racist critics who don't like diversity!
But no one really cares.
It's obvious that they don't like the race-swapped fairy, and they're all review-bombing it because they hate diversity and they're gonna call it woke.
I have no problem with the fairy being black, but why is she bald?
No idea. But hey, I'm just using your narratives against you. Isn't this how it works?
How is it working for you guys so far?
Isn't it where if there's a diverse character in the show, we use it as a shield to protect ourselves, and we call everybody who doesn't like the show racist or sexist? Where are the articles calling the critics racist or sexist? Oh wait, it doesn't exist because it's okay when they do it.
You know, now that I think about it, I'm surprised that they didn't make him a little girl at the end.
I don't know. Oh, don't even go. No, I did not need that.
I am so sorry, but it just popped into my head and I had to say it.
No. Bad kid. Bad. Come on, everybody. Bad kitty her with me. Bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm never gonna not think of that now.
My dearest apologies.
You better apologize.
I am apologizing right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say after that. Blame my wife.
Sorry. I'll bad kitty myself. Bad kitty, bad.
We'll get Pinocchio to lie and we can whack you over the head with his nose. Bad kitty.
No, thank you. I'd rather the Blue Fairy's wand.
Well, if it's a girl, it could be something else.
Great, now I hate that I said it.
You started it.
Exactly, I know I hate that I did.
Yep. Let's move on before this gets any weirder.
Yes, please. And lastly, we have live action Mermaid.
Somebody kill me, please.
I wish.
Hear the singer belt out Part of Your World in the official teaser for Disney's live action remake.
Oh, and it certainly is a remake because the way she sings Part of Your World is, may I do it? Wish I could be. Does that sound like Little Mermaid to you?
No. Also, I love all the articles coming out where they're like, it looks exactly like Ariel.
No, it doesn't.
You want to have her be different than in the movie. Fine. But stop kidding yourself.
The hair isn't even that red.
Just admit that you're going with a different take. Yeah, people still won't like it, but stop trying to spin in the narrative that, like, well, skin color doesn't matter. Her hair does not look right. She does not look like Ariel. That doesn't mean she can't be an Ariel. That doesn't mean there can't be a place for this adaptation.
That's true. I mean, if you want to go with the original fairy tale where the mermaid's name wasn't even Ariel and she actually ended up dying and turning into sea foam because her human lover fell in love with someone else, that's actually how the story went.
Well, apparently they're also saying now that this version isn't going to rely on a man's love to save her.
But the whole story is about romance.
Maybe she'll turn to sea foam.
Oh, please, that'll be a good ending for once.
It's getting destroyed. It's getting ratioed to oblivion, and everybody's using the same kind of comments that they're saying about, like, you know, the Rings of Power, like, when Ursula said to Ariel, it's over, Ariel, I have the high ground, or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Mine was when Flounder goes to Ariel and says, in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Oh, that one's good.
Just gave us chills.
We do like waffles here.
But, you can't say this on Twitter because apparently if you do, you get attacked by all the people who have Ariel as their profile picture because reasons, and they have, like, no followers, but they're everywhere and attacking you.
After seeing this version of Ariel, I'm worried for Ursula, because Ursula was always my favorite character, and I actually really loved the original movie as a child. I really did. Like I've said before, I had Ursula's seashell that had Ariel's voice trapped in it that you press a button and it started singing.
Can we have a shell that traps this adaptation within it?
I wish! I would wear it.
I wouldn't. I would take it and smash it to pieces. But then again, that would get it out. So I would actually... No, I would sink it.
With a wrap?
Into the Marianas Trench you go. Wish you could be...
eaten alive.
Drown it. No one says that she's not a good actress or she couldn't be good. It's just all they're doing with the marketing is trying to say that how it's so much better or whatever. And they were even actually, and I saw this and I was blown away.
What do they do now?
They are attacking the original actress who played Ariel's voice in the movies because she didn't win any Emmys and this person did.
Huh.
There was a whole bunch of people attacking her for it and saying how she was terrible and this is going to be so much better.
Huh.
I kid you not, I saw this. This is the world we live in. We live on... These people perpetually live on Twitter.
Can I hex them?
I mean, if you want to, just as long as it can't be traced back to us. You didn't hear anything.
Bad kitty.
No, you already did that.
Okay.
I'll throw your cauldron out the window.
No! Not the cauldron!
It's plastic. I don't understand why it's such a big deal for you.
Because it's cool and I like it and it's the first cauldron I've ever had besides my mug.
Don't make me trap your voice within a seashell.
But you love my voice.
That's why I would trap it within a seashell.
No!
But yeah, it's getting destroyed and look, it could be great. And if it is, we'll report on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, at least admit that you're going a completely different route with this. Don't say, oh, she looks exactly like Ariel. In what universe?
The alternate universe in which it actually does look like Ariel?
I don't know. It's not Ariel. Stop it. Just admit that, yes, we made it different. And yeah, people still probably won't like it. But stop trying to make it that it's not a big deal. It is. You've changed a character to a different kind of character. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. But when you make it a big deal and you make it into a huge thing, people are going to have problems with it. Especially people like myself who are redheads who may have identified with this because we saw it on screen and we could see ourselves. Isn't that how it works?
It's supposed to be how it works, but they don't, but you know, they hate gingers.
Yeah. Why do you hate us so much, Hollywood?
A good question. I would like to know that myself as the wife of a ginger.
Yeah, I would really like to know that because you keep taking away our representation and you keep saying it's to make other people represented, but you don't actually have a good reason. And it's okay to do that with redheads, but with everybody else, it's not.
For some reason.
Whatever. Hard pass. I have a feeling that this movie's grade will be below sea level. Because then it can be under the sea.
Ba-ba-da-ba. Moving on. And with that being our last client of the day, it is time for us to reveal the diagnosis of the week.
And we have an interesting diagnosis that we've used before, but I think it will relate well here.
Do tell.
So the diagnosis for this week is histrionic personality disorder.
Please explain.
It's classified as having a distorted self-image and unstable emotions, a desire to be noticed and behave dramatically and inappropriately to get attention. These people are depressed, they act very provocatively, they speak dramatically, they have strong opinions, they're gullible. These people are literally Hollywood these days. Except they aren't themselves inappropriate. Maybe they are in certain aspects, but what they do is they fixate on the look of characters. This character needs to be diverse. This character needs to be this. This character needs to be that. When in reality, they already had a way of using that character, and that character was made a specific way, but they'll change it because they need it to make a statement for themselves. They live such hollow, vapid existences that they need to relate, and they need to make statements by focusing so much and inappropriately and dramatically uplifting these characters and changing them because they don't have anything of quality to give us otherwise. And they never will. And this is something that we've kind of learned to accept. Maybe one day they'll change. But these people are going to continue to do this because they can, and they will continue to do so. If you want these people to stop, speak with your wallet. And don't go watch the movie, not even to hate watch it. Don't go watch the show, even to hate watch it. We don't watch the shows, we don't watch the movies, we just talk about what we hear because we don't want to give these people money. It's up to you. but this is exactly why I believe this diagnosis is good for this week.
I agree.
And now we move on to the remedy of the week.
And this week, we're going to be sending you to Rhetorical Thrill. As you can see, she is getting close to 500 subs, so maybe we can help get her there. She has some pretty good content on YouTube. Is she also on Twitch?
Yeah, she's just on Twitch now too. She actually does some movie reviews on her YouTube channel. Usually movies she hasn't seen, and she reviews them as like someone who doesn't really have a lot of knowledge, but apparently, it seems to be going over very well with people. She makes some great stuff.
Grab your popcorn and let her know that Gothic Therapy referred you.
Indeed. That's all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged. And remember, when you do subscribe, your first session is free, so smash those buttons like they're bad kitties. And do consider joining at the dusk, midnight, or dawn level. We would appreciate that. You can also find links to all of our socials in the description below, as well as links to our merch store and our Discord server known as The Clinic. Be sure to check those out.
But yeah, that's all we have for this week, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Gothic Therapy, out.